you know, the end of shuttle was huge, and what's coming after shuttle, and you've seen the what's coming after shuttle stuff, but for us in the research and development world, it was, well, what do we want for ourselves? Kind of, you know, ask for forgiveness later instead of permission. So the gang said, we want SkunkWorks. And it's like, okay. So we did as best we could in this environment. I mean, I can't do it like in the 60s. And we are a federal kind of thing. But I'm the buffer between them and like a lot of process control. So we handpicked people best we could, and it was very good timing. We as shuttle facilities were closing, we got a lot of free equipment just for the taking. It was a furious time that Joe and Mike remember. My helpers were, I'd say, you know, there's a drill press, there's a lathe machine, you know, free for the taking. Go get it, put it on a flatbed truck. You know, huh? Sometimes barter. Yeah, we had to barter. A little bit. But I thought we were pretty nimble about trying to get the free stuff, get the good stuff. And of course, some of it was junk stuff, broke stuff, but we didn't know that till we got it. So we kind of took more than we needed and got rid of the junk later. But anyway, so that's what we do. And then it's, okay, what's our theme? What do we want to do? And it's space resources is what we do here. That another word is called in situ resource utilization, ISRU. That we want to go after the water ice and permanently shadowed craters in the North Pole and South Pole of the Moon. We want to go after metals that are in regolith, surface materials on the Moon. There's a lot of iron and nickel and silicon and titanium. And
does everybody know what regolith is, by the way?
Just surface materials, dirt.
Everything above bedrock.
Right.
Everything you see outside.
Right. Which is not a Flintstones reference. So yeah, regolith. And then using regolith as a construction material, like concrete, like linear concrete kind of stuff. And then so it's the mining life cycle. It's the same as mining on Earth. You have to prospect. So you prospect from above, you prospect on the ground, you have to characterize where everything is three-dimensionally, then you have to model how you would go after it. And you have to do an economic model because some things are easier to go get than other things. And then you have to excavate it, transport it, process it into usable material. And then you have to use it. And then there's other things, if they're going to drink the water, things like that, you have to make sure the water is purified and things like that. So separating the water into hydrogen and oxygen, you could use that as fuel cell commodities, use that as engine commodities. A lot of common technologies can be used on Mars that you can, the CO2 atmosphere, if you can process it through a reactor and make methane, add a little bit of hydrogen to it and Sabatier reaction and make methane for a Mars application. And then the economics of it all is like a typical Apollo mission, and you look at the Saturn V and the size of the rocket and everything. Well, they brought everything with them. And early explorers didn't do that. They knew they'd find things to eat and construct at their destinations. They knew they'd find wood, so they brought like guns and they brought buckets because they knew they'd find water, they knew they'd find food. And I've read that they brought axe heads. They didn't bring axes. They knew they'd find wood and they'd make axe handles wherever they went. So it's the same model then for us. Bring the tools you need to use what's at the destination. So an Apollo mission, if they'd have used what's at the moon, it would have been 40% less mass to do the same mission. So 40% less want us to do the same mission. That would be the ultimate kind of ISRU application. So there's like low hanging fruit, you know, the easier stuff would be water ice. And
Well, it's like we
things
say,
that.
space travel's no longer a camping trip. You can't just
Right.
pack the backpack of spares, and so we're there
Right.
first. Good.
Right. So that's kind of what we do and the reason why we do it. And in this new era, it's an emerging commercial space era, right? We, you know, this group knows that more than anybody, that it's not just NASA missions. We're doing technology for NASA missions. But we're also doing it for these commercial space missions. These emerging companies, Moon Express and Planetary Resources, SpaceX, they want to go to Mars, and so we're working with them. What are their needs, and can we do the technologies to fit their needs? We don't go into production, we're not going to manufacture, but we would develop technologies that they need for their human missions.
Enabling technologies.
Hmm?
Enabling technologies.
Right. Right. So that's what we do here, and everything here is related to our core mission for space resources. We partner with other NASA centers in the industry and academia. We have banners in the high bay for our partners.